Today's wrestling news is filled with some craziness because we're going to be talking about the McMahon family drama, tons of stuff that is going down there. Also, we're going to talk about Mercedes Mone, who appears to have some backstage heat. That is now the former Sasha Banks. And of course, we're going to talk about a top AEW star leaving the company. Honestly, I thought this is kind of shocking, but at the same time, too, it actually makes all the sense in the world. So we're going to talk about it in today's video. As always, I'll keep you guys updated. Let's have some fun today. No jokes, no BS. If you guys want wrestling news, this is the channel to subscribe to. So make sure you click that subscribe button and ring that bell. Literally, this way you're going to get notified and you're never going to miss out on videos, and you're going to get true, authentic, non-biased opinions. So we're going to jump into the McMahon family. Wow. This is where things get really interesting because Axios dropped a report that basically said that sources have told them that Triple H and Stephanie McMahon have opposed the sale of WWE. This is not really shocking, to be honest with you. If I was Stephanie McMahon, if I was Triple H, I probably would oppose the sale as well. I think everybody from a mile away knows exactly why a sale is going down. I think there's been a lot of some great speculation as to why this is all happening. But realistically, the more and more that I think about it, there's more to this. And, you know, Stephanie McMahon's resignation tweet and everybody's statements have been so awesome, and they've been so correct, and they've been so great, and it's so buddy positive shit. But really, at the end of the day, I think the McMahon family has always been interesting, and I think there's a lot to it that we don't know about. And then, of course, when you hear that Stephanie completely resigns and she completely is gone and nobody knows what's happening with Triple H, then you hear about the potential sale. Then you start getting into some more stuff. And this is where it becomes really interesting because Dave Meltzer was talking about this on The Observer, and he basically said that, like, you know, this is a really weird thing, right? Obviously, because the hush money scandal came in. Obviously, Stephanie McMahon returned back to the company after, and now she has resigned. But Meltzer said something that was really eye-catching, and that was obviously the fact that Nick Khan was a buffer who kept things smooth between Vince and Triple H and Vince and Stephanie. So there is a lot of drama and a lot of chaos here. I'm not sure exactly why Vince is doing all of this. To me, it sounds like a no-brainer to leave the business behind for your family, especially considering the fact that they've been doing such a great job with it. But nonetheless, Vince McMahon is doing what Vince McMahon does. It could single-handedly destroy the WWE forever. I'm going to keep talking about this as more updates come through. But, hey, man, thankfully, there's other wrestling companies that exist. That's for sure. Nonetheless, let's talk about Mercedes Mone, because if you don't know what's going on here, this is where things get really interesting. Obviously, Dave Meltzer, constantly talks about New Japan. Obviously, Meltzer, when it comes to New Japan, Meltzer's the guy. And basically, Dave Meltzer had reported that some people in New Japan Pro Wrestling don't want Banks posting photos with stars from other companies. Meltzer specifically mentioned that there were people talking because of the belief that Sasha Banks, Mercedes Mone, has been promoting Sendai girls in Tokyo Joshi Pro more than Stardom and the IWGP Women's title. She posted photos from the Sendai girls dojo saying she wanted to wrestle women that work for that promotion and Tokyo Joshi Pro. The feeling is now that she is with Bushiroad. She should only be promoting Bushiroad companies in Japan. Now, one thing that Meltzer did mention as well is that Mercedes did not go to any Stardom shows or the dojo while in Japan. And this pointed out, and he pointed out that likely nobody has explained the mentality in Japan to her. So look, here's the thing, right? There's some backstage heat about Sasha Banks in New Japan, and I think that last part of it is right. You know, maybe somebody didn't explain to her the mentality in Japan about this. But the thing is, WWE has kind of always been the same thing. You know, WWE was in the United States, and you really couldn't post photos with people, and it's like a weird unwritten rule. So what I would say here is, if you're a fan of all wrestling and you're a wrestler and you wrestle for a company, of course you should be promoting your own shit. You should be promoting your own shows, your own storylines, your title matches, your pay-per-views, of course. But I don't think really any company out there should be dictating who they post photos with or whatever. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I think a lot of people will disagree with me on that. I really don't give a shit. The reality is, if you're too worried about who I'm hanging out with outside of my job, you know, that becomes a whole different thing. And I don't necessarily like that. So this backstage heat that's on Mercedes, I don't agree with whatsoever. If she wants to take photos with these people or those people, like, that's cool. Do your thing. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, if you're going to take photos of those people, yeah, promote your own product too. But that's just me, in my opinion. I think in the United States, we have seen WWE control so much in terms of how people use social media. And I think it's been a nice change when you've seen WWE superstars acknowledging AEW or acknowledging the other stuff. And we kind of talked about this before, right? With like Shotzi Blackheart tweeting and showing her support for rival companies. It doesn't matter at this point. Like, wrestling's wrestling. Like, I don't know, man. I just think it's like a weird thing. Nonetheless, we're going to move on. We're going to talk about Sting. Sting is reportedly leaving because his in-ring career appears to be coming to an end. Very, very, very interesting stuff here. His contract expires this year. There's been several reports filled with speculation that Sting plans on retiring this year. Basically, D Magazine, what was, they have like a little article or whatever on there. And basically, yeah, this is likely the last year of Sting. So Sting will probably be leaving. Now, whether or not Sting gets used in a backstage role or something like that, we don't really know. Which is interesting because, if he plans on retiring, he's gone from AEW. Maybe he drops a podcast. I don't know. But it is very interesting to consider the fact that Sting could very well be leaving AEW. Now, here's the thing. We have Darby Allin as TNT champion right now. You have Sting, who has been by his side. I would really, really love for Sting to put over Darby Allin at some point. And my gut tells me that if Sting is 100% retiring this year and he's going to be leaving AEW, I'm 100% sold on the idea of him putting over Darby. And that could be like the last thing that he does. And that could be a really, really good thing, honestly, if you think about it from the perspective of putting over talent and securing the future of AEW. Nobody knows what the future of AEW is going to look like, but obviously Darby Allin, one of the young guys in the company with a lot of potential, obviously being primed for that big role. There's a lot of potential with selling merchandise and getting him incredibly over. By him working with Sting and getting over by Sting, I mean, that could literally be a star-making performance. The storyline could be really good. And that's the thing, man. I hope Tony Khan does it. AEW has been pretty damn good in the last 3 weeks, and when you continue to tell stories, that's when it gets better. So this is like a perfect scenario. But yeah, Sting is expected to leave this year. He's expected to retire. Not a problem. I mean, he had an amazing career, and I don't know how old he is at this point. I didn't Google it or anything beforehand, but I think it's worthy of saying that Sting is having incredible matches at his age, and he's performing better than some of the young guys. So nonetheless, it is what it is, but I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.